Hey folks, Karen Shania here with Black Sheep Realty, and today we're going to talk about how to buy a cabin here in the Smokies. The reason why this is such a great market is we have pretty decent occupancy rates, and our rates, our ADR, average daily rates, remain pretty high throughout the year. We do have a couple of slow seasons. The three slowest months in the Smokies are January, February, and believe it or not, May. May is a funny time. I call it like vacation purgatory month because people just got back from spring break. They're kind of sitting home, spinning their wheels, getting ready to go out and come back for that June, July, August summer vacation period. So believe it or not, May is pretty slow. And there's all kinds of things you can do to offset that with your pricing strategies. And I can talk about that in another video. But really the point of today's video is to talk to you about how to buy a cabin here in the Smokies. Again, I love the Smokies. I personally have a glamping ground right now with 3 tents, and we're working on phase 2 with 15 more to go in. I own a coffee shop here. And then I have 3 other properties, one of which I own in a syndication. I am very bullish on the Smokies. Yes, I own in a couple of other markets, but the Smokies is my focus, both as an investor and a real estate agent. So the first thing you want to do is find yourself an agent here in the Smokies who is also an investor and owns properties. Shameless plug here. Hello, that would be me or my partner, Corbin. Corbin Lovelace is also an investor here. We both really understand what it takes to buy properties here in the Smokies, and our specialty is coaching clients on how to buy properties here and providing them with the support and resources they need to reach the finish line. So step 1, find an agent. Step 2 is to get pre-approved with a lender. Out on our website, under the resources area, you're going to see that we have a lender directory. I recommend that you go out and you use that. The lenders that are on that directory have had great success with my other clients in the past. Again, like, you're welcome to use anyone you want to. We certainly can't tell you who to use, but those lenders they're well-versed in short-term rentals, and they understand the intricacies of some of the appraisals and things that happen here in the Smokies. On the appraisal, the biggest thing that we see is a lot of times if it's an out-of-town company, they will not give you credit for a finished basement. Even though on like these cabins, the basement might have a pool, it might have the theater room, it might have additional sleeping space, they won't give you credit for it. And so then it's a fight because then your property doesn't appraise. So again, all of these lenders that are on that list, we don't have those problems with them. They're a safe bet and they're great to use, and they have a lot of connections here in the market. The next thing is to know the areas in the Smokies. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come down for a visit, and if that's what you choose to do, out on our website, again, under the resources tab, we have a Smoky Mountain Area Visitors Guide. I recommend you pop that open and take a look. It's an awesome guide. We created it. It's directions to a couple of different, like, I'm going to say typical resorts that you would buy in here in the Smokies. And then it's also got some attractions for both Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, and Gatlinburg. I do this to give you an understanding of why people come to the Smokies. A lot of people don't get it. They're like, why in the heck would anyone go to this little teeny tiny mountain town in the middle of Tennessee? You don't know it till you come here and you see it. And we have travel attractions for any type of interest. We've got the family set in Pigeon Forge. We've got Gatlinburg, which is like this cute little quaint chalet village. And then we've got Weirs Valley and Townsend. Weirs Valley and Townsend are both more rural. I call it the Crocs and Socks gang. People that really love to be in nature and get out and about tend to be in those areas. And they're, like I said earlier, they're a lot more rural. Things are a little bit more spread out. You have more of the curvy mountain roads. But again, Weirs Valley and Townsend are both also have back entrances to the park, which is a little known fact. So you actually may be closer to the park by staying in one of those areas than actually staying in Pigeon Forge. So know the area. Your agent, if they're worth their salt, they can tell you like sort of what to expect in each area for rental income. And while I'm talking about that, we do have some rental income sheets grouped by Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg under the resources tab of our website. You do need to provide us your name and email address to get your hands on those. And that's just so that we can follow up with you later and help you through the process should you need that. The next thing, and this is the most important thing, an educated investor is a successful investor. you've got to be able to run your numbers. And that's where we really are different agents, because whereas like your typical home buying agent that sells you like your primary home, they're not going to sit there and run your financial numbers with you. They're not going to go through your, not going to help you figure out whether or not you can afford the home. We as investing agents will sit there and help you with the numbers. We can't run them for you, but we provide you the tool and we provide you the resources, and then we validate them for you. The other thing you want to do is to get with your agent and tell them you want to subscribe to the hot buys. So every week, my partner agent and I go through and we scour the market, and we have two sets of criteria. The first set of criteria for a hot buy is that the stated income either on the listing or out of Air DNA has to be at least 10% of the purchase price. And for those of you who already know how to do this, you're rolling your eyes, just stop. I get it. But that's just tells us, okay, this might be worth looking into. Right now, there's a lot of properties that have been sitting on the market, and there's a very good chance you could get that property at a price well below what the list is. And if you can do that either through the offer process or through the negotiations process on the repair proposal, something could wind up being a very good investment, even though on the surface of it, it only says it's got like 10% of the income. And then there's another piece of this where we'll actually go out and video the properties. So of the hot buys, there's usually one or two that are like screaming hot buys. And for those, we run out and we get a video and we actually take a shot at the financial analysis. We put all kinds of disclaimers on it because you have to verify the numbers on your own. But then we go out, we get this video of the property, and then we send it to people that we know are actively hunting. And by actively hunting, you have to have a pre-approval. We don't invest a ton of time in people that are not pre-approved and ready to buy in the market. It just doesn't pay us to do that, and it clutters people's inboxes who possibly are not really serious to buy. I think the key piece of this, and this is going to sound so self-centered, but it's having that agent investor helping you along the way. You want someone who really knows what they're doing. Your agent investor is also going to have contacts. If they're an investor in the market, they're going to have access to like handyman and cleaners and repairmen that can really help you, especially early on in your journey. You're not going to have anyone. Once you get here and you've been at it a while, you may actually be using a different network of people to help you with your property. But having an agent that really has all of those contacts out of the gate to get you started, and preferably you want them to have like 2 or 3 different names in each of these major categories, so that if one person's not available, you can skip down the list to the next. So really, to sum it up, you want to have a good agent who's also an investor here in the Smokies. You need to be pre-approved. You want to know the area that you're coming to, and you can either do this by showing up to visit in advance, or you can buy the property and come down during the inspection period. I have an awful a lot of people that still do that. And then you want to run your numbers. Running your numbers is key. You have to make sure that the property is going to meet your expected return on investment. It's not my expected return, it's your expected return. Typically what we're seeing people get right now, you should still be looking to get 15 to 20% range. There are some other real estate teams out there that will tell you 10% is okay. My opinion, it's not okay. If you look at, short-term rentals are semi-passive investments. You still have to put quite a bit of time and energy both when you buy it, and then there is a small amount of time required throughout the week as you manage the property once it's up and running. For that, I think you need to expect a higher return than what you would see in like your typical long-term rental. So I really like to see people get anywhere from like 15% really should be the floor, and then up from there. So this has been Karen Shania with Black Sheep Realty. Really love talking to you guys about all things investing in the Smokies. Please, 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 if you want to know more about us, head out to blacksheeprealty.co. That's .co, not .com. Hit the schedule a consultation, and that'll bring up a Calendly scheduling link where we can get together on the phone, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about investing in the Smokies. It's been a real pleasure talking to you guys today. Have a great day.